2013 CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest is right around the corner, and we wanted to give you a quick sneak preview of some of the stuff that's going to be shown at the show, including some exclusive first looks at products that have never before been seen until this video, and then again when the show happens in Denver. So that's October 11th, 12th, and 13th, 2013, but stay tuned because right now we're going to show you some really cool stuff that'll be at the show at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest 2013. Sennheiser is going to be at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest 2013, and I don't think that's a big surprise, and they're coming with some cool new stuff. So earlier in the year, we did talk about in the buying guide and other videos some of their new products that came out in the beginning of the year that maybe some of you haven't had a chance to hear yet, like the HDVA 600 and the HDVD 800. That's their amp and their DAC amp combos, respectively. And this is the HDVD 800 here, which I find to be a very good amp matchup for the HD800. A lot of you, I think, have wanted to hear it, and it should be there, I imagine, at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest. We've also talked before about the IE800, their new flagship in-ear monitor. The IE800, I'm sure, will also be at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest. Now, another headphone that I think a lot of you know about is the Sennheiser Momentum On-Ear. This is their new, smaller version, more portable version of the Momentum. The Momentum, of course, being right here, already an immensely popular headphone on headfi, outside of headfi. This is a popular piece, and this is the new, smaller version here. So this is, I like this color scheme. This is the cream-colored version, or off-white. I'm not sure exactly what they call it. And then here's red in the box. So look for the Sennheiser Momentum On-Ear to be at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest as well. Also, they have a new version of the HD25. It's the HD25 Aluminum. They've discontinued the Amperior, and this is the latest version of the HD25 family, which is now, I think, 25 years old this year. So look for the HD25 Aluminum to be there. Really nice piece. Now here's a piece I'm really excited about as well, and they should have it at the meet. It's a pro audio market focused piece. It is not a replacement for the HD25, but it's called the HD26. Again, it's a pro market piece, and it's packaged like a pro market piece. I don't even have the box up here because it's just a plain brown box, really. But it has a really cool mechanism that will remind you of the HD25. And in terms of sound, it has a sound that has a family resemblance to the HD25, but still a different sound, so you'll want to hear it. And I've actually been carrying the HD26 around a lot lately and really like it. And that should be at the meet. So it's pretty brand new. But check this out. So you know the headband on the HD25 splits? Look at the HD26. When you open up the earpieces, the headband splits automatically. How groovy is that? That should be at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest as well, so make sure to check that out. So Sennheiser will be there, and make sure to go by their exhibit. Sony is going to be exhibiting at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest, and I'm super excited about that because as far as I can recall, they've not exhibited at a headfi meter event in the past. So this will be a first time, and I'm very happy about that. They're also the company that gave me my start in headphone audio when I bought this model eons ago as a teenager, the Sony MDR V6. Now here's the thing though, I don't know what Sony's going to be bringing because they tend to release products, depending on which part of the world you're in, differently. So some of the products available in Japan, for example, aren't yet available here. So I don't know what they're going to be showing, but I imagine you'll be able to see the MDR-1R and hopefully the PHA-1. They've announced some successors to these in Japan that I don't know are out here in the US yet. But we'll see what they show. I'm really, really pumped, though, that Sony's going to be there. Check them out, Sony at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest. Cavalli Audio will be at the show again, and I'm really excited. They should have their full family of Cavalli Audio amps, the Liquid Lightning, their electrostatic amp, the Liquid Glass, and the Liquid Gold, which is this amp right here. A beautiful amp I've had a chance to live with my favorite planar magnetic headphones from Mr. Speakers, Hi-Fi Man, Odyssey, and Abyss headphones. Yeah, this thing is glorious. So especially with the Abyss headphones AB1266, the two of these paired together is probably one of my favorite headphone systems of all time. A remarkable pairing. So make sure you have a chance to listen to this system at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest at the Cavalli exhibit, Cavalli Audio. I'm not going to say much more than that because we're going to do a dedicated video about the Liquid Gold with the AB1266, with the Odyssey, with the Hi-Fi Man, just mentioning those, and the Mr. Speakers Alpha Dog. But really, this pairing right here is probably the best pairing that I've had with the Liquid Gold. But anyways, listen to one of my favorite headphone systems at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest, Cavalli Audio exhibit, Liquid Gold AB1266, and make sure to listen to their other stuff too. Fostex and their American distributor, American Music and Sound, will be exhibiting at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest, and it's really exciting. The guys from Fostex come all the way from Japan to join us. Very, very cool. They're going to be bringing the stuff you see here, I imagine. We have the Fostex TH900. It's their flagship headphone, one of my favorite headphones overall. That will be there, I'm sure. It's still their flagship headphone. The Fostex TH600, sort of the little sibling to the TH900, will also be there. The HPA8C, their flagship DAC amp that does up to 24192, I believe, and DSD as well. That'll be there. And then the HPA3. I'm sorry, mine's all beat up because I carry this thing around a lot, so it's all scratched up and beat up. But this is the USB bus-powered little sibling to the HPA8C. That will also be there. Now, this is $399. This is $1499. And so you have this kind of chasm between these two products, and we have a little sneak preview for you of something that they're going to have that hasn't been previously shown or announced. It's called the HPA4. It slots in between the two and really price-wise closer to the HPA3. It is also USB bus powered like the HPA3. It's again called the HPA4, and this one does up to 24192 and also does 2.8 and 5.6 DSD. And then it has optical and USB inputs that both support up to 24192. This thing is very, very cool. And then it has the optical out, which I like on the Fostex pieces that they have optical out because I use that for passing digital to other devices like my wireless headphones, the Sennheiser RS220s. But anyways, this is the HPA4. It's going to come in at an MSRP, I believe. It's not finalized yet, I don't think, but an MSRP of about $500. This is a very cool piece. I'm not going to go over it in detail now, maybe in a later episode, but I just wanted to let you know that they're going to be introducing the HPA4. I've been using it, and I'm really liking it. So I've been carrying it around, and it's probably going to get about as beat up looking as the HPA3 because this is going to be in my bag a lot. Very nice device. Because it's USB bus powered like the HPA3, you don't need a power adapter for it. You just plug in USB and you're good to go. Love it. So, and by the way, we also have another news flash. Let me get this. Fostex, this literally just came today. Fostex will be also showing a sample of a new in-ear monitor called the TE05. I believe they've shown that at previous trade shows like the Tokyo Headphone Festival. They're also going to show a prototype vacuum tube amp called the HP V1. That has also been shown. I know I've seen photos of that from, I think, the Tokyo Headphone Festival or another Japanese festival. But here's a piece of news that I don't think has ever been announced except for right now. They're going to be showing at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest. And I actually think this may be the biggest piece of news. Sure, the HPA4, very, very cool. But I think this one's going to be the most enticing for most of you. They're going to be showing a prototype of a new RP headphone. That's right, a new planar magnetic headphone. I believe it's going to have all new housings, a new headband. So I don't even have a photo of it right now, as of the moment of this shooting anyway. I don't have a photo of it yet. But they are going to have a new planar magnetic headphone there. I don't know much in the way of details, what driver it's using. I'm going to assume maybe it's related or same as a T50RP driver. It's been an immensely successful driver, both in the T50RP itself and in modified versions of it. So I would imagine maybe they're going to be using that driver, but it does have all new housings and a new headband, and it's designed, it's really voiced for hi-fi listening. This is a really big piece of news. A new planar magnetic model voiced for hi-fi listening from Fostex. So you heard that here first. I believe nobody else has reported on that previously. Make sure to stop by the Fostex exhibit at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest. Some cool new stuff. Last year, legendary French high-end loudspeaker manufacturer Focal entered the headphone space with the Focal Spirit One, their first headphone. This $279 mobile headphone is one I am a fan of for on-the-go use. It's a very good headphone. It's actually in our current headphone buying guide as well. But because Focal is really known for their high-end loudspeakers, I was hoping they'd move upmarket with the headphones as well, and that's just what they did. We recently had a chance to take a world-exclusive first real look at the new flagship from Focal, the $399 Focal Spirit Classic. As I said in that exclusive, I really like this headphone. Haven't had a lot of time with it. We have to hurry up and get it back to Focal because there aren't very many of these in the world right now, and I want to thank them for that world-exclusive first real look at this new headphone. But this is a very good headphone, an absolute worthy upgrade to the Spirit One. I find it to be more comfortable also for long-term use. This is something I would happily use sitting for long periods of time. It'll be at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest, and I really think you should come by Focal's exhibit to listen to the new Spirit Classic. The Spirit Classic isn't the only new upmarket model from Focal this year. They've also introduced another new model called the Focal Spirit Professional. The Spirit Professional is a studio monitor. It's intended for pro audio use, and it actually has this really cool speckled black finish that's supposed to be extra tough, impact and scratch resistant for the rigors of pro audio use, and it's voiced like a studio monitor. I like that all three models sound different, and I like the voicing of the Spirit Professional as well as the Spirit Classic. I'm not sure which I prefer more. I have to do more comparisons. I've only had them both very briefly, but I'm excited about the Spirit Pro and the Spirit Classic. So you'll be able to check out both at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest, and please make sure to do so. ALO Audio will be at the show, and so far at every CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest, ALO Audio has been one of the most popular exhibits year after year. And it's no big surprise because they have one of the most interesting collections of products that they exhibit at the shows. Now, everybody knows ALO Audio is known for their boutique cables, their custom cable work, but they've also in the last several years been introducing really cool electronics. Last year they introduced the Pan Am, which is a hybrid tube solid state USB DAC amp, and the thing underneath it, by the way, is an optional outboard power supply. And then recently they introduced the International, which is a USB DAC and amp. It's battery powered, and it's very nice. The chassis on this thing couldn't be more solid. Yeah, very cool product. Check out the International by ALO Audio. Now, this is one of my favorite new things to come out in a while, certainly in terms of design and form factor. It's the ALO Audio Island. The Island is a USB-powered DAC and balanced amp. So it has an RSA or a Cobicon connector for balanced output to your headphones. And then again, it's a USB DAC up to 24,192. And check out the volume knob. I mean, I just think that's such a remarkably cool design. And it actually seems like something that would have been designed overseas. Now, they did spend a lot of time getting the design just right. I just wanted to show you this. This is cool. This is a 3D printed. This black one is actually a 3D printed prototype chassis that they printed to get an idea of how it felt in the hand and how it looked, and also just to test fittings and things like that. I just thought it was awesome to see the kind of R&D they did leading up to the Island, and of course, not to mention everything that they designed and worked on that goes inside the Island. So anyways, I'm really excited to check out the ALO Audio exhibit at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest. You should be too. Make sure to go by their exhibit at the show. Not surprisingly, Beyerdynamic will be with us at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest again. And I'm not sure exactly what brand new products, if any, they'll be showing, but one of the new products that I hope you get a chance to hear that I'm really excited about is the Custom One Pro. I think a lot of you are familiar with the Custom One Pro, but for some of you who haven't used it yet, you want to stop by Beyerdynamic's booth. It's really cool because it has adjustable bass. I think we've gone over this in a previous video before, probably the CES video, but try the adjustable bass while you're listening to it. And if they have anything new there, it'll be a surprise to me, but make sure you stop by the Beyerdynamic exhibit at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest. I think one of the biggest stories of the show this year is something that's on this little table in front of me right now. So Jerry Harvey Audio, also known as JH Audio, has been one of the most popular exhibitors at the show, and this year I think that's going to be turned up quite a notch because they're announcing something very cool that I'm going to get to in just a second. So last year, they announced an update to their flagship pieces, like here, the JH13 Pro and the JH16 Pro. It was a technology called Freak Phase, and what Freak Phase did, long story short, is improve the phase performance of the piece. But what it resulted in was a substantial improvement. I have a pre-Freak Phase JH13 and now a Freak Phase JH13, and the improvement, again, was substantial. It has made the Freak Phase 13 Pro, it has to be one of the most, I think it's the most revealing in-ear monitor I've ever heard, and it made it my favorite in-ear monitor that I've got of any type. So that's a big deal. Well, until now, which I'm going to get to in a second. But that was a big deal, the Freak Phase update. But really, it wasn't an entire update of the line. That means it wasn't an all-new flagship for the JH Audio line. But this year, they are announcing a new product. It is a new flagship. It incorporates Freak Phase and some other stuff I'm going to get to in a second. And you've got to hear it. It's called the Siren Series Roxanne. The Jerry Harvey Audio Roxanne is a true jump, both in terms of performance and in terms of features. In terms of its drivers, it has a trio of quads, so that's in each ear. So that's 12 drivers per side. But it's almost like Jerry Harvey Audio wanted to not emphasize how many drivers it had in naming it Roxanne. But given that it has 12 drivers, I'll say this. I don't think there's a person on earth that I would trust more to massage coherent performance out of 12 drivers and 2 crossover points than Jerry Harvey. And this is truly a masterpiece. So if you go by the Jerry Harvey Audio exhibit, make sure to listen to the Roxanne. Now, I want to talk really quickly about what it incorporates. So it has a 12 drivers per side. It uses the freak phase technology that they've incorporated in their what are still currently their flagships. And it also has this on the cable. Well, I'm actually going to show you something. They actually created a new plug design because to incorporate a feature I'm about to get to, they needed a 4-conductor design. So Jerry actually designed a whole new plug, a proprietary plug. I know cable makers are probably freaking out right now, but because there is a whole new plug. And what it's built for is to provide a nice firm connection. It can only go in one way, so it's keyed, so it only goes in one way. And then it has a screw-down collar to really affix it strongly to the piece. The cable would probably break before it ever came undone from the piece. It's also nice because of the collar that goes over the jack on the headphone. It would probably provide pretty substantial moisture protection. In fact, I think JH Audio said it does. So it's a really nice piece for the pro audio market. Very durable design. I love it. And it's a proprietary plug they designed, and I'm going to show you right now on the screen some close-up pictures of that plug and the receiver on the earpiece. Very cool design. Now, why did they need 4 conductors? Well, he decided to incorporate variable bass. I don't know what they're calling this feature yet, but it's variable bass, and it's amazing. It's very well implemented. So if you turn the bass all the way down, and you'll see there's 2 knobs on the control, one for each channel. If you turn the bass down all the way, it's essentially flat, a neutral piece in terms of measurement and in terms of sound. But when you crank it up all the way, I think you're looking at about 15 dB of bass boost. Now here's the really cool thing. The bass boost is so well implemented, it literally has no effect on the mids that I can hear. So when I turn it all the way up, the mids seem completely unaffected. It's so well implemented, and I use it. So it's like a set screw, so it's going to come with a little tool. I think it's an injection molded tool to turn it. You can really turn it with any small Phillips head screwdriver or even a flathead screwdriver. And yeah, it's very well done. So you have freak phase for the phase accuracy that I'm getting with the JH13 freak phase that's made it one of the most revealing headphones I've got. And so you have that. You have the variable bass and other improvements that he's chosen in terms of the driver design and the overall design for the Roxanne. This is a true jump in performance. Again, you got to listen to it when you go by the JH Audio exhibit. To go along with the performance gains of the Roxanne, Jerry Harvey also wanted to make sure that she was dressed better too, and they did a really nice job with that. Let's start with the carrying case. This carrying case is like no other I've ever seen. It is solid carbon fiber with a machined billet aluminum cage around it. This thing is just like, I think you could probably run a truck over this, literally, and have it survive. And it's just also stunning to look at. Now, when you open up the inside of it, it has a magnetic enclosure, but this is a prototype, so there's nothing inside of this one. But at the show, you're going to have to check it out. I hope they have the production version of the case there, because inside will be what's essentially a carbon fiber negative impression with which to put your earpiece in. So it'll have the negative impression of your custom earpiece, and you'll set them right into the perfectly mated impression inside the case. Yeah, stunning. Wait till you see it. I really hope at the show they have the production version. So now let's get to the piece itself. The piece itself, and you'll see it in the photos that we're showing you right now, is solid carbon fiber. Now that's a $200 option. So let's get to the price. The price of the Roxanne, I believe, don't hold me to it because I don't know that they've decided on final pricing, but I'm pretty sure it's going to come in around $15.99. But for $200 more, you can get solid carbon fiber ear shells. Nobody's doing that right now. We're not talking about face plates or a carbon fiber look. We're talking about solid carbon fiber earpieces all the way through. You can see it in the photos. I don't think anybody is going to be doing that for a while other than JH, because it ain't easy, man. But it is so beautiful to look at. So yeah, my Roxanne is going to be, well, mine already is, solid carbon fiber. And yeah, man, it is amazing to look at. It's amazing to listen to. It's probably going to be one of the biggest shows and one of the biggest draws at the show. Yeah, check out the Roxanne by Jerry Harvey Audio and everything else that they have at their exhibit. But the Roxanne will probably be the big story for them for sure this year. Schiit Audio is going to be at the show with their growing family of products. They have amps, they have DACs, and they're very popular on headfi. They're going to have some new products, starting with the Loki, which is their new DSD DAC, a dedicated USB DAC. So if you have a DAC that you really love, but you wish it had DSD functionality, or if you've been thinking of replacing your DAC just to get DSD functionality, consider instead the Schiit Audio Loki. It will be at the show. Again, a dedicated DSD DAC with analog pass-through. So you can plug your DAC's outputs into this. It has the pass-through outputs on the Loki. You can listen to either your DAC or the DSD from the Loki just by pressing this switch in here, which is very, very cool. They also will have the Schiit Audio Magni and Modi, that little mini system that's very, very popular on headfi, $99 each. It's actually, in my opinion, one of the best values in a desktop system you can get right now on headfi. Again, 99 bucks each for the Magni, that's the amp, and the Modi, that's the USB DAC. And then this is the Mjolnir. They're very powerful, fully balanced headphone amplifier. So check out Schiit Audio's exhibit at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest. They may have some other surprises there, so definitely worth a stop. Since its release in 2009, the Audeze LCD2 is, I believe, the single most talked about $500 plus headphone in headfi's forums ever. And it's immensely popular. I probably don't need to even tell you what it is because you probably recognized it right away. Now, a couple of years ago, they released a new flagship, which is the LCD3. Both of these headphones are favorites of mine. The LCD3 is one of my favorite headphones, period. I love that headphone. Now, last year, we teased a new model. Audeze let me listen to a sneak preview prototype of a closed Audeze headphone, their first closed headphone. And I actually ended up posting photos of it. They weren't even sure they wanted to let me post photos of it or even talk about it. But we talked about it. I begged. They let me do it. And we put up essentially a sneak preview of the prototype closed Audeze. Well, here's the cool thing. At this show, CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest 2013, they're unveiling the new closed Audeze headphone. This is still actually a prototype. This one's not voiced for production, but you're going to want to go by the Audeze booth and listen to it because, yeah, it's impressive even in prototype form. But I imagine if they've got it closer to production form for the show, yeah, I have a feeling you're going to be really, really impressed. It's called the Audeze LCD XC, C meaning closed. And this is actually, I believe, an anodized aluminum outer frame with, of course, a wood outside part of the cup. And I believe it may be available in different finishes, but I'll let Audeze release the details at the show because honestly, I'm not sure exactly what all the available finishes are. The price of the Audeze LCD XC is going to be $1,799. I believe that's the expected price. So this is certainly on the upper end of the Audeze scale. The nice thing about it is it's made to be more efficient so that you can use it even with a phone. Of course, you're not going to get ideal performance out of this, even though it's actually quite efficient, out of a telephone, out of an iPhone, or any other smartphone. But, you know, in a pinch, it's nice to know you can use it. And that was really a big design goal for Audeze, was to come up with some more efficient headphones. And again, that's the Audeze LCD XC, and you're going to see it. Well, you're looking at, actually, I think this is, they've shown it at a couple of shows. So if you've been to some of the shows they've shown it at, you may have seen it, but otherwise, you're seeing it here first. And yeah, I can't wait to actually hear the near production version of it. But this is impressive, again, even in its prototype form. Oh, but what's this, you say? There's another one up there. Yes, there is still another headphone that Audeze is unveiling at the show, and it's called the LCD-X. That's an aftermarket cable on it, by the way, by Toxic Cables. This is not the cable it's going to come with, just so you know. And this is also an aftermarket cable by Cardis. That's not going to come with it, but these are what I happen to have on the headphone at the time. Anyways, this is called the Audeze LCD-X. So this is the LCD-X, and it's open, and this is the LCD-XC, and it's closed. Now this one has near production voicing, or maybe even production voicing, and it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. This one has a signature that, to my ears, is more neutral than my LCD3. The bass feels it sounds a bit flatter. And actually, you know what this reminds me of is like something like if Audeze was making a studio monitor. LCD-X. That's what it sounds like to me. It's like a planar magnetic, really good studio monitor. This thing is outstanding. So this is going to be priced. The LCD-X will be priced at $16.99. And again, the LCD-XC, $17.99. And yeah, it slots in essentially between the LCD2 and the LCD3. But I think the LCD3's got some serious competition here because this sounds outstanding. What's nice is they've differentiated it in terms of voicing. Frankly, in terms of resolution, I find it right up there with the LCD3. In some ways, because of its tonal balance, when I'm in the mood for something a little more neutral sounding, yeah, the LCD-X has been pretty stunning. So unfortunately, I have to send this one back, but you know I'm going to be ordering one because it is that good. So this is, I think, is going to be, these two will probably be a couple of other big news items from the show, maybe along with the JH Audio announcement, one of the bigger announcements. So look for the Audeze exhibit, 2 new headphones, Audeze LCD-XC and the Audeze LCD-X, 2 wonderful headphones. Again, this one is closer to production voicing, if not production voicing, and it sounds just superb. So give it a listen for yourself. Check out the Audeze exhibit, CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest 2013. Woo Audio is one of the companies that has exhibited with us, I believe, at every CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest we've ever done, and many other events, local, regional, and national, international. They've been so good about being part of this community, and they're one of the more popular exhibitors at any of the events they go to. This is the Woo Audio WA7 Fireflies. It is a cool, cool product. This is actually a pure tube amp circuit that just happens to have a really good 24192 USB DAC included in the same chassis. Now, as for the tube amp circuit, it is one of the quietest. Actually, scratch that. It is the single quietest all-tube amp circuit I think I've ever heard. And it has on the back a switch for high impedance headphones, low impedance headphones, and a front jack dedicated for IEM usage, in-ear monitor usage. That's how quiet this is. You can actually use it with an in-ear monitor. So again, it has a 24192 DAC included with it. It's just hard to beat this thing. I think it's $999. And let's just be honest, it's a stunner to look at too. So you get this all-in-one DAC amp system that looks real cool, and if you're into tubes, is very compact for a tube amp. Yeah, listen to the WA7 Fireflies. I heard it at CES, ordered one immediately, and I wouldn't be surprised if you did too. It's so versatile with the headphones you can use it with. They should also be showing the WA234 monoblock amps. They showed prototypes of them last year. I think they're going to be showing a production version this year. The retail price of that, I think, has changed, so I'm not sure exactly what it is right now. But check out the super duper heavy, gigantic WA234 flagship monoblocks from Woo Audio. I think you can drive efficient speakers with them or headphones with monoblocks. Pretty extreme, but it can be done. Check it out at Woo Audio. They should have, of course, a full family of Woo Audio amps. At every show I've ever seen them at, they always have such a complete and thorough display with a really cool variety of products. So anyways, check out the Woo Audio exhibit at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest 2013 for sure. One new product I know a lot of headfires want to hear is the Sennheiser Hi-Fi Mate. These aren't easy to come by right now because the demand for them is so strong. So go to CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest because Sennheiser is exhibiting there. Stop by their exhibit, listen to the Sennheiser Hi-Fi Mate. They should have both the Hi-Fi Mate LX and the Hi-Fi Mate for iOS. Both fantastic products. I picked up both and built portable reference rigs around them. You can hear them at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest, and Sennheiser will also have the rest of their product line there as well. One of the most popular exhibitors at the show has been Hi-Fi Man, and I think one of the reasons is they bring a wide enough variety of gear that when you walk by, something catches your eye, something you want to see, something you want to hear. And this year I don't think it's going to be any exception because they actually have a few new things that they'll be showing for you to listen to. One of them is the RE400. It's their new $99 in-ear monitor. I think it punches way above its price and is one of the best sounding in-ear monitors for under $100. Now, Hi-Fi Man's also very popular in the headfi community for their over-ear headphones. You can see here they have quite a variety. From the more entry-level, dynamic HE300 to the entry-level planar magnetic, this blue one, that's the HE400, the HE500, and what I think is still one of the best headphones in the world, the HE6. And this is their amplifier, the EF6, that I actually use to drive my Hi-Fi Man headphones and some other headphones as well. So check out the Hi-Fi Man exhibit. They should have some other new products like the HM901 portable high-resolution media player, which I don't have here. Also, they have another in-ear that I don't have here called the RE600. So check out the Hi-Fi Man exhibit, and it'll be a treat, I guarantee it. Alpha Design Labs, or ADL, by Furatech will be at the show again this year. Now make sure to go by the ADL exhibit because they have a little-known headphone called the H118 that they released this year that's actually quite good. And the headfi community still has yet to really sort of discover it, and it's a really nice headphone. It's their portable over-ear headphone. Again, that's the ADL H118. I really like this headphone, so give it a listen. They also have a new portable DAC amp. This is an iDevice DAC, USB DAC amp combo called the X1. It's really cool. It has sample rate indicators on the top. It's just a very well put together piece. The ADL X1 is definitely worth listening to. Now Furatech also has other things, accessories, cabling things. Actually, they're most known for their cables. So check out the exhibit. That's ADL by Furatech. Like Rocky Mountain Audio Fest, CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest has also become a very international event with exhibitors coming in from all over the world. Two exhibitors coming from Asia that I wanted to bring your attention to are Musica Acoustics from Tokyo and Jabin from Singapore. Jabin has exhibited with us for a long time, many events, and they bring such a unique product mix from all over the Asian marketplace, stuff that we're not used to seeing here. Musica Acoustics from Tokyo is also going to bring very unique products just like they did last year. Again, stuff you're not typically going to see here, things you have to go to Asia to see normally. Now look at this poster from Musica Acoustics. There are actually products on there I've never heard of, and even some brands I haven't heard of. And so I'm always excited to go to Jabin and Musica Acoustics to see these kinds of products that are new to me. It's like being able to go to the Tokyo Headphone Festival without actually going to Tokyo. So make sure to check out the Jabin exhibit and Musica Acoustics to get a sense of what you might see at the Tokyo Headphone Festival without having to go to Tokyo. Philips will be exhibiting at the show, and I'm really excited about that. I think some of their staff from the US is coming, and maybe even at least one person from Belgium. So I'm really excited to see that Philips will be exhibiting at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest. You know, in the first 10 years of headfi, we didn't really talk a lot about Philips, and in the last couple years, they've just been tearing it up with new headphone lines like the Cityscape line you see there in the middle, which they recently announced updates for. I was actually in Belgium with Philips and in Germany with them as well at IFA, and they announced a new line, some updates to the Cityscape line, I mean. And then they also announced some updates to the Fidelio line. This is an M1 Bluetooth. So the Fidelio M1 is a model that's been out for a while, but now this is the wireless Bluetooth version of it. Very nice. I've been using this quite a bit. They also announced an update to the Fidelio L1. This is the Fidelio L2. I think this is one of the coolest looking headphones out there right now. I love the way it looks, and it also is an improvement in sonics over the L1. Now, they just announced it at IFA in Germany, so I'm assuming they're going to have it at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest. I certainly hope they do, and if they do, look for the Philips Fidelio L2. It's a really nice headphone and a nice update to the Fidelio L1. They also have the X1, which I have, but I don't have here on the table. So look for the X1. That's their flagship headphone. They have some really nice stuff. Check out the Philips exhibit at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest. One of the most storied brands in headphone audio is without a doubt KOS. KOS has been a part of the personal history of a lot of audio enthusiasts over the last several decades. And they will be at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest again, and I'm really excited about that. Now, they have a very vast product lineup. I'm not sure exactly what they're bringing, but a couple of models I think you can expect to see there or here on this table. You have the KOS PortaPro, a very classic portable headphone model from KOS, been around a long time. They recently updated it with a 3-button remote, which I think is very cool. It's so odd for me still to see this really modern 3-button remote on a really classic headphone design, but I'm glad they put it on there because I'm an iPhone user and I like to use this with my iPhone. Another product that you have to hear, if you go to the show, make this one of your highlights. It's the KOS ESP950. It's a model that's often overlooked. It's a model that KOS has had since, I believe, the early 90s. It's still their flagship, and it is an electrostatic headphone. The ESP950, in my opinion, at $1,000 is still one of the best-sounding headphones under $1,000 of any type. So make sure you listen to the ESP950 if you go by the KOS exhibit at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest. You really should go by the KOS exhibit at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest. Now, I don't know, exactly what they're bringing. They have such a vast product lineup, but these are a couple of cool examples. Make sure to check out KOS at the show. Make sure to check out the V-Moda exhibit at the show. They're going to be back, and I'm really excited about that. At their exhibit, you can check out the M80, still one of the most popular on-ear headphones in the headfi community. Listen to it and find out why. The M100, which was actually developed in conjunction with the headfi community, with the help of the headfi community, literally, is going to be at the show. This is still a wonderful, portable, around-the-ear headphone to have. And when I say portable, it's really cool because it folds into a really compact package. and you can put it in this tiny little case. That's the M100. They'll have that at the show as well. The V-Motivamp Versa will also be there. We did an episode about the V-Motivamp Versa where we interviewed Val Colton, and he talked about the feature set, so I'm not going to go over it now, but it is a portable DAC amp combo, iOS device DAC, USB DAC, and a portable headphone amp. It's really full-featured. It's also a battery charger. It'll charge the battery on your phone. Anyways, again, we did a whole episode about it before, but they'll have the V-Motivamp Versa as well. Make sure to check out the V-Moto exhibit at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest. Astle & Kern, also known as iRiver, will be at the show showing their very popular Astle & Kern AK100 and the AK120. Now, just to be clear, this whole big thing isn't the AK120. Just that little thing in the brown leather case is the AK120. I have it hooked up to a Centrance Hi-Fi Mate. This is one of my reference portable rigs. But the AK100 and the AK120 are immensely popular in the headfi community because they're portable media players that are very compact. You can see how tiny that is, that support up to 24/192, and the AK120 also adds DSD playback support. How very cool is that? And both can also serve as DACs in your system as well. So check out the AK100 and the AK120 at the Astle & Kern exhibit at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest. Cardis announced years ago that they were going to be making their own headphone, and finally, after years of development and some delays, they announced this year the Cardis EM5813. EM stands for ear mirror. And this is a pair of them right here. They'll have them at the show. They've been getting really good reviews in the audio press, so check out the Cardis EM5813 at the Cardis exhibit. They should also have, I imagine, headphone cabling products. This is a Cardis clear cable for the HD800. They make other Cardis cable products for a lot of different headphones that have detachable cables like Odyssey, I think Hi-Fi Man as well. So check out the Cardis exhibit at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest. It's been a while since I can remember a product that's been as much the talk of the town as the Alpha Dog by Mr. Speakers. This headphone we've gone over in quite a bit more detail in its own episode because it was the first 3D printed production headphone. Now, this is still the prototype because the production one didn't get to us in time, but the production one's going to look a lot more polished than this, and it will be at the show. Check it out. It's one of my favorite closed headphones, perhaps my very favorite closed headphone. I can't wait to hear the production version, and you'll be able to also at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest at the Mr. Speakers exhibit. TTVJ Audio, or Todd the Vinyl Junkie, will be exhibiting at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest as they have at every single one so far, and I'm excited because one of the things that they do at TTVJ Audio, maybe more than any other exhibitor there, is they have stuff in price ranges from affordable all the way up to crazy expensive, I'll never be able to afford it prices. And so it's fun to be able to kind of move along his exhibit and use this vast range of products. He usually has one of the most complete exhibits at the show. So make sure to check out the TTVJ Audio exhibit. Also, TTVJ's electronics brand, which is Apex, will be introducing a new amp there called the Teton. I believe it's designed by Pete Millett, and it's based on, it's like an advanced, improved version of the Wheatfield HA2. For those longtime headfires, you might remember the Wheatfield brand by Pete Millett. But I believe it's a substantially improved and evolved version of the Wheatfield HA2. It's about $5,000. I haven't heard it yet, but Todd assures me that it's amazing and that I have to hear it at the show. So that will be one of my first stops, is to hear the Apex Teton. I believe Todd also will be showing, this is something we did a video on, this is the Cypher Labs Theorem 720 DAC. It's something that's been talked about a lot on the forums. It's an iDevice DAC, amp, USB DAC 24/192 capable, and it charges your battery and has like ridiculous long battery life. It's pretty amazing. So a lot of people have been wanting to hear it. And I believe Cypher Labs Theorem 720 DAC will also be at the TTVJ Audio exhibit. So make sure to check out the TTVJ Audio exhibit. Again, check out that vast range of products he has, including the stuff that we just mentioned. So check him out at the show. So that was our sneak preview, our sneak peek at CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest 2013. It's October 11th, 12th, 13th, 2013 in Denver, Colorado at the Marriott Denver Tech Center. You can go to canjam.org for more information. And I hope you can join us out in Denver, October 11th through the 13th. Now, obviously, we weren't able to cover every exhibitor that'll be there because I think there's going to be like 35 plus exhibitors in the over 12,000 square feet of space we have for CanJam at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest. But in addition to all this amazing personal audio and headphone audio stuff, of course, it's nestled right in the Rocky Mountain Audio Fest event, RMAF. And that is one of the best audio shows, high-end audio shows in the entire world as far as I'm concerned. And then, of course, within it, our show, one of the best headphone audio shows in the world, without a doubt. So check it out, canjam.org, but better yet, join us again in Denver, October 11th through the 13th. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.